Support for this program is provided by Sequent Planning, an SEC-registered investment advisor, helping people make informed retirement income decisions. Additional information is available at sequentomaha.com.
Electronic cigarette use is on the rise and can also increase use of combustible tobacco cigarettes among youth and young adults, according to the Truth Initiative. Good afternoon, I'm Lillian Griffith.
And I'm Brian Vomaka. Coming up, we take a look at current developments in the ongoing Riverfront Revitalization Project.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
From the studios of UNO Television, this is the Omaha News, presented by UNO School of Communication.
Underway, with renovations coming to Omaha's Jean Leahy Mall, Heartland of America Park, and the Lewis and Clark Landing. The $280 million project will be primarily funded by private donations, with the City of Omaha contributing $50 million over the next 3 years. MECA Director of Communications Christina Engdahl says they will raise the Jean Leahy Mall up to ground level, with one of the goals being to make the landmark safer for residents to visit.
So the goal is to have an amenity-rich space that the community not only feels excited about using, but safe in using. Safety is going to be a big part of, or a big consideration as the parks start to reopen, especially in design. We're going to help eliminate some blind spots that were kind of prevalent throughout the original park design.
Apart from new safety features, the project will also have new additions such as sculpture gardens, water features, and a performance pavilion. The riverfront's reopening is set for 2021.
Vaping is a widespread health concern sweeping the nation, but there isn't much data to support either the benefits or the risks. This issue has some local experts at odds on the solution. Tim Bowen was a smoker for 33 years. He used to smoke 3 packs a day, but 4 years ago, he gave up smoking cigarettes for vaping.
My pulmonologist came to me after my last scan, which was in May of this year, and asked me why I was in the study. And I said, well, because I was a smoker. And he said, that's remarkable. He said, because your lung scans, your x-rays here, do not indicate that you were ever a smoker.
He believes vaping saved his life and wants to help others. E-cigs are defined as the act of inhaling and exhaling vapor.
Vaping alone and the impact it has had on 14 million smokers is the single largest public health win in the last 120 years.
However, there are over 500 health issue cases related to vaping, and 6 deaths across the country have been linked to it. Dr. Jill Seltze says they don't have enough information on the chemicals in e-cigarettes to know if they really are safer than combustible tobacco.
And so I think it's just a matter of time and having more data to figure out like how significant these risks and these injuries to people's health will be.
10 million adults are vape users, and according to a recent CDC study, 380 adults across 36 different states have been diagnosed with lung cancer related to vaping.
Much of the news that you've heard recently regarding the deaths and sicknesses have been occurring because of black market products.
Despite new warnings, Tim Bowen continues to advocate for vaping and its benefits to customers. Bowen attributes his health recovery to vaping and says that his doctor told him he has seen a tremendous amount of healing in Bowen's lungs.
Coming up, we learn what local biomechanics experts are doing with a record-setting research grant.
Next, we take the effects of rising student enrollment numbers at UNO.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Your MAV card is your ticket. Don't lose it.
Ticket? Ticket to what?
It's your ticket to tremendous entertainment. Like the UNO Art Gallery. They host amazing art shows, lectures, and the Writers' Workshop reading series. We can go to the Strauss Performing Arts Center, where we can experience live music. Or maybe the theater, where they host 4 productions a year.
Your MAV card is your ticket. Where will it take you?
The University of Nebraska-Omaha has 14 club sports offered year-round. UNO Ultimate is one of those teams that practices twice a week. Each team travels around the country competing against other colleges. Club sports are a great way for students to compete at a collegiate level.
We have a tournament this weekend where we're going to be representing the school in a sanctioned event, not just a fun scrimmage against a crosstown rival.
Check out the club sports page on the UNO website under the Engage tab to join a team today.
I found a monster when I was young and green in life. I would have to say it kind of fell under the category of what would be domestic assault. That had a big influence in my life, and I kind of stayed angry. That part of me that was taken, I get that little piece back with the martial arts. Feels like control that I lost. I lost control of myself a little bit, whether it be my freedom or control of my own body. So I get a little piece of that back with the martial arts.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons, to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
This is the Omaha News.
As the city of Omaha continues to grow, so do the student enrollment numbers at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Reporter Jay Bridgman is at our live table to take a look at the shifting enrollment across Nebraska universities.
After a record-breaking freshman enrollment class last year, UNO continues to top off the number of enrolled students by increasing the undergraduate and graduate enrollment by more than 1,300 students in the past decade. Madison Rawl, a senior at UNO, was drawn by the impressive School of Business.
I really fell in love with the atmosphere and how in touch we are as a school of business with the community.
Meanwhile, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln has lost about 20% of its enrollment class. These claims come from the loss of foreign students leaving the university due to visa laws. For former UNL student Kieran Carter, his experience wasn't exactly what he expected.
And it was kind of just like a culture shock where it's really not about the people in the class, it's more about just the class being full. And I like the people I've met, I like all my friends here, but at the same time, I'm not growing in the way that I should be growing.
After only 1 year at UNO, Carter has noticed some impeccable differences.
It's really good because all my classes are smaller and there's definitely a sense of community inside majors and concentrations.
Over the years, UNO has grown into one of the most diverse universities in the state. The size and inclusiveness at UNO allow students to grow beyond graduation.
Omaha is a growing university that's investing heavily in its student life and into its education and bettering its school. As Omaha grows, UNO is allowed to grow more and more kids are going to stay here because there's just a bigger base of consumers that come in.
For the Omaha News, I'm Jay Bridgman. There are currently over 15,000 students enrolled at UNO. If the university's enrollment rate continues to climb, UNO could be expecting around 3,000 new students for the 2020 school year. Brian, Lillian, back to you.
Last summer, the University of Nebraska-Omaha's oldest building got a brand new facelift. Arts and Science Hall was built in 1938, and for much of its 81-year history, the building has seen little change. This year, however, the Art and Science Hall was given a $12 million renovation in order to make changes that would give the building a more modern and comfortable feel.
The first thing that people immediately saw was that there's new lighting in the hallways throughout the building. And if you may remember, the building was a really sort of a dark building. So that's been a big change. I think people have appreciated that.
In addition to the lighting changes, renovations have also been made to the classrooms in the form of new chairs and new computer screens. Despite all the construction that was done this summer, work is not quite finished just yet. Plans for next summer include renovations to the women's restrooms on the west side of the building and around 20 classrooms throughout the building.
A private donor made a record-setting donation to the UNO Biomechanics Department, the largest single research grant in school history. Reporter Phil Lemon is live to tell us more about this.
Biomechanics is the study of movements in biological systems, including human beings. The grand opening of the new edition of the Biomechanics Research Building is next month on North Campus. UNO Biomechanics just received a $10.3 million grant, surpassing the last donation at $10.1 million 5 years ago. Since the building's opening in fall of 2014, biomechanics has come a long way at UNO.
We have tools that we never had before, and we can do things that we have not even dreamed before. It's an exciting new science, and always when you are a pioneer, when you're like doing something new, it's even more exciting.
This construction will help build 3 new research cores, which will be made possible by those giving back to UNO's campus.
The community is extremely generous. For example, our donors, like the Scott family and all the other donors who have helped us to build this building, are wonderful people, so generous. Okay, people like that, you can only find them here in Nebraska.
Thanks to the private donation, nearly 30,000 feet of additional space will be added, more than double its size right now. The completion of the project is expected to be at the end of September.
It provides opportunities for students to continue to learn to be researchers, to learn what they're learning in the classroom and apply it to clinical populations, apply it to clinical-based research. It allows for jobs, so it will bring faculty and staff to the state of Nebraska, help our economy, increase our workforce.
This past grant was part 2 of the Centers of Biomedical Research Excellence, or COBRE. The department is eligible for Phase 3 in 2024. There are no definite plans yet, other than for sure growth and expansion. Back to you in the newsroom.
Coming up, we head over to our sports team to take a look at men's soccer.
Next, we see how a Maverick on the women's basketball team received some exciting news.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
Alex is your average UNO student. She goes to class, does her homework, and studies hard. She does everything to make sure she excels, except
a flu shot. I don't need a flu shot. I never get sick.
Be smarter than Alex. Call the UNO Health Center at 402-554-2374 to set up an appointment whenever you are sick or injured. Students can receive free primary care so you can quickly return to being 100%.
Being an apostolic oblate is really who I was made to be. As I started thinking about the possibility of a vocation in consecrated life, it was kind of repulsive to me, but kind of made a deal with God, and I just said, if you want me to follow you, then you have to show me that your plan is beautiful and full of love and adventure and joy, because I want that in my life. So it's worth the risk.
So I have a test on Tuesday and a 10-page essay due Wednesday. I have to help set up my sorority's bake
Research
sale.
paper due
Essay tomorrow. I'll do by tomorrow. Wednesday. Research for second grade.
Don't let fear and worry build up inside you. Visit the Counseling and Psychological Services office here on the UNO campus. Students can receive 8 to 10 confidential counseling sessions free of charge. Sign up for your first appointment today.
As a student, it's good to know you have support wherever you go. To have a simple and direct way of seeing that next assignment. To have an easy way of knowing where you're headed to next. Or just how quickly you're going to get there. The UN Omaha app is everything a student needs, just a tap away. Download it today on the App Store or Google Play.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Omaha Sports. I'm your host, Matt Kirkle. The Omaha men's soccer team picked up their first win last Saturday against an Air Force team that had top 25 votes in last week's rankings, despite not having Miguel Gomez or Aaron Uribe due to suspension. The Mavericks got off to a slow start to begin the season due to very tough competition and a few injuries that kept the Omaha lineup from being at full strength. They look to have turned the corner after tying Michigan and dropping a close match to Creighton in the final 2 minutes without 3 of their starters. Following their road win over Air Force, the bulk of the Maverick roster will return as they head into a home matchup with Cal State Northridge and then a road game against the 19th-ranked Missouri State Bears. Those are the last 2 games for Omaha before they begin conference play. Mariah Murti was the only Maverick on the women's basketball team to receive a postseason All-League award last season, but her season didn't start on that path. I had a chance to talk to Murti about her growth last season and how she plans to handle her heightened expectations this upcoming season. After a very slow start to her freshman season last year, Mariah Murti received some unexpected news at the conclusion of the season that she had been named to the Summit League All-Newcomer team.
At first I saw I had a missed call from Coach, so I thought I was in trouble. But then I called her back and she told me, so I was really happy. The first thing I did, I called my mom. I said, "Mom, I'm so excited."
Murti started last season trying to find her role. Through non-conference play, she only had 1 game with double-digit points and struggled to find consistent minutes. She would eventually find her stride, finishing the year with 8 more double-digit performances, including setting the D1 era record for the Mavs with 18 rebounds in a single game.
Mariah is a unique player where you get to see gains from her from day to day. You know, some players it takes a couple months or maybe year to year, but she's so talented, she's so athletic, and she really has the desire to be really, really good.
The Mavs struggled to get traction last season, and they came up a game short of the conference tournament. But with the new faces getting comfortable and the veterans taking on their new role, head coach Brittany Lang has high expectations for this season.
I feel as confident and good about an off season as I had since my time here. The additions we've had on the team have been what we've expected, what we've needed, and really elevated everybody.
Murti understands what it takes to build off of last year, and she's ready for the expectations in front of her.
I have to keep the right mindset. I feel like I wasn't even at my best at the end of last year, and I have a lot more to go. My opportunity to come up and do what I can do for the team has been presented, so I got to take advantage of it.
Murti is entering her sophomore season for the Mavericks, and she believes that with this year's team, they're ready to shock the Summit League. Omaha Volleyball began 2019 with a tough non-conference schedule, and to add to the anticipation, they're doing it with a brand new head coach. Omaha finished its non-conference play with an even 7-7 record, including a 4-2 home record. In last weekend's final non-conference tournament at Grand Canyon, Omaha went 1-2, picking up a win against Cal State Northridge. Head coach Matt Buttermore has embraced a unique roster, even without the transfers who may have began their careers somewhere else.
Well, they realized they probably made a mistake going somewhere else because Omaha's great. You know, what kind of chemistry are they going to bring to the team? But obviously, they were all here when I got here, so I don't even think of some of the Mavs transfers just because it was the team when I got here. So.
The Mavericks now turn their attention to league play as they welcome a pair of conference opponents into Baxter Arena this weekend. They play Friday night against North Dakota before they face North Dakota State Sunday afternoon. The premier fan organization supporting Omaha athletics, the Red Army, is known campus-wide because of their presence at games and on social media. However, who's the man behind it? Reporter Harrison Popp unveils the mystery personality behind the Red Army.
There you go, Mav! Omaha Athletics struggles to sell out games outside of hockey. However, one seat is permanently guaranteed to be occupied by their most passionate fan.
UNO to me represents a world of possibilities. Being an Omaha fan is believing that everything is always possible and something remarkable is just about to happen. And that speaks to me, and that feels more authentic to me than what Creighton and Nebraska have to offer.
Rick Jeffries, otherwise known as Red Army, is a season ticket holder for 6 different Omaha Maverick sporting events, including Omaha men's and women's soccer, Omaha men's and women's basketball, volleyball, and hockey. He plans to add baseball to the list once the new stadium is built right next to Baxter Arena.
Most fans like to choose a certain sport. Rick has chosen a university.
Prior to establishing the Red Army in 2002, Rick was down Dodge Street as a Creighton Blue Jay, earning and receiving his master's degree in law. The now converted Maverick looks at UNO with great regard.
Everything about being a Maverick Athletics fan is joy to me. I mean, win, lose, or draw, I am just absolutely in love with the student athletes and with the teams and with the promise of this university, and every moment I get to spend on campus is a privilege.
The Omaha native attends over 70 games per academic year to reciprocate the joy the Maverick student athletes give him during every sporting event.
This is my fun. This is my recreation. This is the thing I like to do better than anything else.
For the Omaha News, I'm Harrison Pop.
Jeffries currently runs the Red Army Twitter account with over 2,500 followers. He stresses the account only intends to provide a voice for his love of the program and the sense of possibility. That's all we have for Omaha Sports this week. Brian, Lillian, back to you.
Coming up, we see developments with putting a new form of public transport on the Omaha streets.
Next, we see one student's journey to bring awareness to Alzheimer's.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
When a child is fighting cancer, the Love Your Melon UNO campus crew is there. We believe in a simple positive impact by visiting these children and doing volunteer work around the community.
Being able to work with people, do volunteering, and helping those that really need it is a really big draw for me.
Please visit our social media or loveyourmelon.com for more information.
You know, when you go to a theater production, you only see the finished product. You're not seeing all the long nights, the rehearsals, the laughs, some of that fun that happens behind the scenes. My favorite part about that process is getting to know the character. As an actor, when I get to that finished performance, if I can hold a mirror up to the audience and they can see my character as someone relatable, then I know I've done my job. My name is Jared Chernoshek, and this is my story.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded press to a full.
Millions of people around the world live with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. A UNO student is one of the community's most vocal advocates for Alzheimer's awareness.
When she was only 5 years old, Maddie Cunningham discovered her life's passion, advocating for Alzheimer's awareness and research.
My great-grandma started showing signs of dementia, and I saw what she was going through, and I saw the toll that this disease was taking on our family. Even at such a young age, I knew that I could get involved. And so I started raising money by way of bake sales in my driveway.
Cunningham's early fundraising efforts paved the way for her to attend the Alzheimer's Advocacy Forum in Washington, D.C., where advocates speak to members of Congress about the change that needs to happen.
When Maddie speaks, they really tune in. And I think that's just it's about how articulate she is, but it's also about, I think the elected official wants to know, what does a young woman her age have to say about this?
Cunningham is using her time at UNO to work towards a career at the Alzheimer's Association. This new, younger generation of advocates will play a vital role in finding a cure for the disease.
I don't want to cry right now, but we will only find a cure if we have more Maddies in the world. It's critical that young men and women have a voice and that they're not afraid to share it.
Cunningham says she doesn't think of what she is doing as out of the ordinary. It is simply her passion.
Over the last 16 years, I've met an insane amount of people, and these people have inspired me to keep going and keep me motivated so that nobody else has to go through this disease. I feel like this is what I'm put on earth to do.
Cunningham says that finding a cure for Alzheimer's disease is now a priority on Capitol Hill, and compared to when she started, that is a significant sign of progress.
If you use public transportation in Omaha, there will be a new form of transportation coming soon. The city of Omaha is working on Omaha Rapid Transit, also known as Orbit. Orbit hopes to improve the flow of Dodge Street traffic and make it easier for people to get to their destination. The Orbit route will begin at Westroads Mall and will end downtown. UNO student Michael Castillo says better public transportation.
To be honest, I'm wondering what it took so long, because ever since I moved here, the transit system isn't exactly efficient. There's limited times. The frequency isn't up to stat.
The 60-foot-long buses are available every 10 minutes during rush hour and offer free Wi-Fi while riding. It will launch in the spring of 2020 and officially begin operating on Dodge Street sometime in the fall of 2020.
That's the Omaha news for this week. Be sure to join us next Wednesday for more stories that matter to our community.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at UNO, the Omaha News, or find our website for even more news and stories at unomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Support for this program is provided by Sequent Planning, an SEC-registered investment advisor, helping people make informed retirement income decisions. Additional information is available at sequentomaha.com.
Maverick Sports News has grown up. Mav Radio's First Warning is streaming live to show you the best and worst of the sports world. With analyst DK Kellogg, host Ray Cook, and the whole First Warning crew. Where will you be when the warning sounds?
It was kind of a risk. Consider this has quite a history now, and we're proud of it. Kind of the quiet history, you know. Because of budget cuts or whatever, they kind of reorganized UNO Television. But they wanted to consider this going. And I said, well, why don't we just make it the output of the studio production class?
Social media can be fun, but it can also be a powerful tool. At the UNO Social Media Lab, we work together to advance our understanding of social media and technology on the UNO campus and beyond with research application services such as real-time social media tracking, social media listening, and assistance on how to work with first-party social media tools such as Twitter and Instagram analytics. We have also consulted and collaborated with communities in Nebraska to help them leverage social media to work for their communities.
Lyle, calm down.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders. A place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
It's not my first time bartending, so
It's a sausage party in here.
it's fine. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, because you're a sexy girl, Sam. Last thing,
Yeah.
is that the music, when Momo kicks it into high gear, is going to get a little bit loud in here. So Your customers are going to have a hard time hearing you, so you may want to...
What?